Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2 a.m. Radio. My name is Rodeo Brito, and today we have a special guest who has come from very far. He's a renowned artist who has made history in the art world. I'm not going to pile on the compliments because we don't have as much time as usual, and I might make my guests a bit uncomfortable. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andy Warhol. Andy, first question. Would you do a portrait of me?
Why paint anybody?
That's interesting. I didn't think it would be that easy. So anybody that asks can just get a portrait.
Yeah, that's the only way.
So what exactly are you looking for when you're making your portraits? What goal do you have in mind? What are you trying to accomplish?
Oh, well, just well, actually, I try to make people look good. I try to do big, simple designs mostly.
So in 1962, you created one of your most iconic paintings called Campbell Soup Cans. You made over 32 of them and they're practically identical. And it's been a recurring theme in your art to use repetition. But why do you use repetition so much in your artwork?
Uh, well, I always think I don't do the first one good, so I try to do it more. I mean, in portraits, that's what I did, and then I try to do them over, and then after a while, you have more than one. It
Do
takes
you
me takes me more time to do.
But why do you choose to spend so much time on it? Like, obviously, we don't have that much time. It's something that's very limited in our lives, and you have very little of it left. So why choose so much of your time in repetition? What's the reason?
Well, by spending more time on it, it's just like a person who spends more time on one picture. I just spend more time doing more than one picture.
So, what's your process when you're making your artwork? Could you tell me how you complete each piece? What kind of tools you use?
I've got this. Mr. Land had invented this great camera that was called a Polaroid. It was called a Polaroid Big Shot, and it just takes the face of the person. I haven't learned how to do the body yet. I mean, I've done it before, but not really. And so this picture just takes a picture of just the face, and it seems to I don't know. There's something about the camera that makes the person look just right, and it takes their headshots. It's like getting a passport picture. They usually always come out great.
That's very fascinating. And once you have the picture, what exactly do you do with that? Do you continue the process? Do you put color in it? What do you do?
It's usually a colored picture, and I turn it into a black and white photograph, and then from there I turn it into you blow it up to the size. I guess I got stuck to making all the pictures 40 inches by 40 inches, so I blow up to a 40 by 40. And then I have a silk screen made of it, and then I put the paint on, then I paint over it, and try to get the right colors. And sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's easy.
As an artist, I feel like the toughest thing to do is to know when an artwork is completed. Um, how do you know when your art is completed? What makes you think, okay, I could put this
Well,
up?
I don't know. After you finish it, you know whether it's right.
Let me ask you this. If you can only use one color to make some art or your portraits, what color would you use?
Gee, I don't know how.
Yeah, it wouldn't be easy, right? I'm not even sure I'd be capable of that. But when I look at your art, I always see a lot of artificial colors. Uh, is that something you use a lot of then?
Yeah, I use mostly artificial color. I'm trying to find flesh color, and I have so many different color flesh colors, but maybe one day I'll get the right flesh color.
You know, with everything that's going on, with the world going as fast as it's going, with AI developing, I thought about you, and I remembered you had attempted to reproduce yourself as a robot. The project didn't go through. It was much more complicated than you could ever imagine. Um, do you still want to become a robot? Is that still something you
Well,
want to do?
I still want to be, but well, I do the same thing every day. I go to work and paint, and I try to turn out as many pictures as I can.
So what are your thoughts on making a lot of artwork? Is that something that's really important to you? Is that something you thrive for? Is something that you find really important to come out as with many
Oh,
artworks as you
yeah,
can?
the numbers are really important. I keep reading about this Indian guy that turns out like 3 or 4,000 pictures a minute,
Whoa,
or maybe it's a day.
that's a lot of pictures. Do you want to do as much? Would that be a goal of yours? Something you'd like
Oh,
to
well, I
do?
keep trying. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it takes. I don't know. It always seems so easy to read about it, but when you
right.
try to do it, it doesn't take. It takes longer.
Yeah. So would you be interested in maybe going back to a museum? You know, now that you're back for a little bit, would you be interested in taking a stroll and seeing what your artworks become because they're up in the wall. Do you like them in the museums? Like, what do you think about that?
Oh no, I like them in
Oh
closets.
yeah, closets.
Oh, well, because people collect them and then they put them away. They don't have to put them up in the wall. At least they have them.
Well, and a closet would be too bad, right? Nobody would be able to see them.
Well, that's okay.
So, for you, the most important part isn't the fact that they're collected or they're shown. It's more about the creative process of it, right?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Maybe I'm making it deeper than it really is. But one question I have for you is, ever since you left the Earth and now that you've returned, do you hope that all the interest in your work continues?
Well, I hope it goes on. Yeah, I really do.
Would you say that you're creating beyond the money, or is it purely for the act of art? What are your thoughts on?
Uh, oh, yeah, and it really, really, well, it keeps me working. I really like that, and I like doing, like I keep saying, I like to doing the same thing over again. And then painting the same picture is really more pleasure. I always want somebody to ask me to do, like 30 or 40 pictures of them. Then I can listen to my soundabout, which looks just like the thing that I'm wearing now, and you can listen to opera and stuff like that.
See, that's really interesting because I always said art is a really good reason to listen to music, right? When you're creating art, it's the perfect moment to put on some great music. So I didn't even know that you enjoyed opera.
Oh, I always liked opera. I used to go when I was very young. And now when with this great, I think it's another Sony machine. It's called a walkabout or a walkaman or something like that, and it's actually really terrific. And you can hear this stereo in your ear, and it's really great.
I got a tough question for you. Who was the person that you enjoyed painting their portrait the most?
I think Liza Minnelli.
Oh yeah, how come? Why her?
Well, because I was able to sort of do the painting like the way I used to do them years ago, and I just did it recently, and it just had the right look and the right colors, and
So, do you believe in the concept of emotions? Is that something you feel you're in tune with?
well, no, I don't, but I have them. I wish I didn't.
Would you like to get rid of them if you could?
Uh, well, no, just a feeling of doing the right, just getting by.
In the past, you were still an artist, but you were more in a commercial sense. If you could go back, would you change anything about that period of your life?
Well, no, I'm not. Well, when I was doing that, I was doing the same thing, so I'm really not doing anything different.
You know, time is kind of cyclical, right? In my opinion, things constantly have a way of coming back to the source. Do you believe that in a way we're constantly repeating ourselves, repeating our creativity? repeating everything we've that's already been done in a
Well,
way,
I
right?
I do, and the only way you can sort of judge that is when you watch TV every day and you see a 20, a 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80 movie or TV or newscast or something like that. It really hasn't changed at all.
Time seems to go even faster, right? These days, time just feels like it flies
I
by.
think it does go by us, yeah.
So let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on getting older? You know,
Oh no, no, I'm old.
oh, you think you're old?
Oh yes, I'm old. Yeah, they call me Granny. They call me Granny. They do. So.
Really? Why do they do that? Why do they call you Granny all the time? What's up with that?
I don't know. They say I'm old.
It's a sign of affection, you know.
Oh no, it's not a sign of affection. They're just mean.
So, what do you think about affection? Is that something you feel towards other people?
Well, no, I like everybody, so that's affection.
Do you think it's important to show affection to other people? You know, even if they're not the nicest people?
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself disliking people? Was that something?
Well, I don't really try to think about it. I try.
Yeah.
Somebody's funny, I try to leave. And
So, what would you consider a really nice person? Somebody that you enjoy being around?
well, if they talk a lot.
I get that. As long as you're not talking, the other person's talking more than you. That's always a good
Yeah.
thing,
Yes,
right?
that's a really nice person.
Well, Andy, I'm getting the red light. Our time is up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to 2 a.m. radio. This was Rodeo Burrito with Andy Warhol. Andy.